of a shot of winning. We can beat anybody in the world, and I think we're going to win next Sunday.
And welcome back to the New York Jets Atlantic Flight podcast. And with me today is Daniel, and we are going to be talking all things Jets schedule, which dropped excitingly this week. And of course, we didn't know anything about it other than all the accurate leaks that were leaked out beforehand. So it wasn't really a surprise, but it's great to get it all out there. It kind of feels like football's in the air again. Can almost feel the autumn leaves dropping off. Oh, they're not even on the trees at the moment. Anyway, I'm rambling on. There's other news. There's all kinds of things going on in the world of kicking. So that's what we will do. We will kick off with kickers and punters. Daniel, kickers and punters. What have we got?
As long as you don't kick me in the rear, I'm fine.
Can't promise. So
no kicking in the arse.
So we had Thomas Morstead. He put a tweet out probably middle of the week, I think it was. Little bit upset. I understand that. He loved being a Jet. He is a fan favourite. Let's make no bones about that. But at the end of the day, he was pretty much average in punting. So we've got new blood coming in the building, but it was sad to see him go, though, wasn't it?
It really was. Look, I mean, I understand what Glenn is looking for. He wants a good young team to go out there. While I will slightly disagree that he was average last year, Thomas Morstead, I will slightly disagree. I thought his punting was absolutely fantastic. I thought, he put the Jets in great position on defense to stop the opposition. But look, I believe that maybe this might have been, maybe for one time, I will disagree with Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. I think it was the wrong thing to do to let Thomas Morstead go. But still, though, the point is that they want to go younger. And apparently, I've heard some of these kickers, or these punters that they've found, I should say, have a hell of a leg. And maybe we got something good here. But until we find out in preseason, as well as training camp, we won't know. So let's see what the Jets will do with the new punters. But honestly, I thought it was the wrong move. But once again, I can only give out my opinion. Aaron Glenn has a bigger picture of what to do instead of us.
Yeah. What I mean was he was average. He is actually listed as average. I'm looking at the not PFF. I'm not a member of PFF, but I do use ESPN looking at stuff. And he was literally average. He was listed as 15th, rated 15th in the entire NFL.
I apologize.
So he was literally average. He did fall off a cliff face at one point. He started off quite well, and then towards the rest of the year, he did fall off a cliff face. But he has been absolutely superb for us. But as I say, but then, do you know what it is? Who really played well last year? There were so many players that for inexplicable reasons didn't play well. So is Thomas Morstead just another player that was victim just a trash, horrible season? Let's say this about I'll say this about Thomas Morstead. Yeah. I've just forgotten his flipping name now. The special teams coordinator. Oh, Mike Westhoff. Beg your pardon.
Brent Boyer.
So, no, I'm talking Mike Westhoff here, because in his book.
A long time ago.
Yeah. So Thomas Morstead is pretty much a Mike Westhoff disciple. In his book, Figure It Out, Mike Westhoff actually says that Thomas Morstead is the best punter he's ever had. He thinks he's a punting god. And Brant Boyer is also a disciple of Mike Westhoff. I think I mentioned that last week, that it's actually Mike Westhoff that drafted Brant Boyer in Miami. So that's where that link comes from. But Thomas Morstead has been around the NFL since the dinosaurs. So whether or not he retires or finds another team, I don't know. But he will be missed by us. But we do have new blood in the building in the shape of Kai Kruger. He's 6'3", 213 pounds. He played his last 5 seasons at South Carolina and averaged 44.6 yards a punt. That's the second most in school history. His 265 career punts are a school record and fifth in most in SEC history. What's interesting about this guy, though, is when I say the words Taysom Hill, what does that mean to you?
I really don't know, to be honest with you, so go ahead.
Oh, okay, right. Well, Taysom Hill played for New Orleans Saints, and he was an absolutely massive special teamer, and quite often on fake punts would pass the ball. This is what Kai Kruger can do. Also, he's also been a quarterback. He can pass the ball. If you go onto YouTube and Google Kai Kruger highlights, you will find on there lots and lots of fake punts and resulting in first downs and touchdowns. So he's pretty good. He's had 4 punts of at least 70 yards, and he's thrown 10 passes for 205 yards, 3 touchdowns in his career. So he's got some moxie about him, this guy. So I think that this is going to be, if you look what Detroit did, this is part of Detroit's game plan as well. Fake punts, keeping the defense honest, so not rushing the punter. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, isn't it?
Well, you know who reminds me of?
You're going to say Tom Tooper?
Absolutely.
Oh! the best quarterback we've ever had, according to PFF.
Yes, for that one game where Vinny Testaverde, we lost him to injury due to the Achilles injury, and we lost him for the entire season. And then Tom Tupa comes in, who's our punter, but also threw a couple of touchdowns in the game, one to Keyshawn Johnson. So,
yeah.
you know, this should be interesting. This should be interesting. I wouldn't mind that, to be honest with you.
See, you know, at the end of the day, this guy, can I be perfectly honest? Punting, I don't think is really that difficult. Why you can't just pick a punter off the street, I don't know, but apparently you can't. So, but best of luck to this guy. Maybe it's because I come from a football background, a soccer background, that I think like that. But we have other kickers as well just that have come in, because in other news this week, we gave the boot to another kicker. You know a little bit more about this, so I'll let you explain this one. Greg Zuerlein, what happened?
Okay, so basically, Greg Zuerlein, during last season, he was placed on injured reserve on October 30th because he got that injury in his leg. And he had something, you know, obviously had something nagging starting the season, but, you know, he decided to keep his mouth shut. And then when it was revealed that he couldn't go on any longer, they had to put him on IR. And, you know, basically, December 20, and it says here on the report, Zuerlein was limited to 8 games last season with the Jets, converting 60% of his field goal attempts and 93% of his extra points. He was first placed on injured reserve on October 30th before returning to practice on December 20th and was subsequently placed on IR on December 28th. So basically, what happened there is because of him being on IR towards the end of of the season, Rick Domino, of course, said that he was cut with a failed physical designation. So apparently he failed his physical, and that's why they decided to let him go. They let go of Greg Zuerlein, and because of that move that they did, they signed free agent defensive end Michael Fletcher. Now, we'll see if this move will work with Fletcher, if he can do the job. But still, though, look, Zuerlein, after a great first year with the Jets, he had a horrible second season. And not only physically was he screwing up, mentally he was screwing up because his kicking game started to go the wrong way around during preseason, and he made several misses. And whatever easy extra points were supposed to be made, easy kicks that were supposed to be made that could have won a couple of games last year, it all went off the rails, and the Jets lost those games. So, look, Greg Zuerlein's a veteran. We don't know how much longer he has. If he signs another team, so be it. But honestly, it's a good move to get rid of him in this manner. and hopefully they'll find a kicker. Or if we do still have a kicker, he'll be the one to we'll rely on. If not, they find somebody else that's more accurate and better and younger, maybe. Then let's go for it. So be it.
I'm just trying to think. I can't remember his name. It's Caden. He's a rookie, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I can't remember his name now. I'm just going to
No,
try
I'll
and
look it up.
I'll try and look it up. But apparently I
I'll
think
look it up. Go
is he
ahead.
from Alabama? I think he is from
Might be. Might be.
Caden Davis. That's it. He is from Mississippi. Beg your pardon.
That's
So
okay. It's around there somewhere.
he's there. He's a fresh-faced dude, 6'2",
That's right.
210 pounds, 24 years old. So he's not a
Yep.
spring chicken. So he's been around. And that's all I pretty much know about him at the moment. But anyway, we have two kickers that will be booting it out for wearing the jersey. So it's good that we've got a competition going on. Other news, Daniel. The schedule dropped.
Yes.
The schedule's
Yes,
dropped.
there.
So we now
Yes.
know. We can just skim through the pre-season that we've got. So
Oh,
we start off the pre-season. We've got our first away pre-season game is away at the Packers. And then we are at the Giants, which is obviously a home game. And then we've got another home game against Super Bowl finalists and winners, Philadelphia Eagles. So that will be a little bit of a test. It's quite good actually, because I think there'll be obviously people battling for those final spots in that Philadelphia Eagles game. Of course, we've only got 3 preseason games now because we've got an extra regular season game. But is there anything you like about those preseason games?
I mean, really, I just want to see who's going to perform. I just want to see what they're going to do. I just want to see what the situation is because, like I said, I want to see how Justin Fields is going to be in our offense. I want to see the new kids, how they do well in preseason. I just want to see. I just want to see who's going to work out. That's all it is. That I just want to see who the new kids are, and we want to see what Mason Taylor's going to do. I want to see how Armand Membu does on the offensive line. I want to see what the new Williams brother comes in, Giovanni. I want to see what
Giovanni.
Giovanni can do with both Quinnen and Quincy. So it's GQQ.
Yeah, so famously last year, Salah, while he was still a head coach, didn't play any of his starters in pre-season last year. And I think there was a fair split amongst the Jets fans. Some saying, well, I kind of like this idea because our injury history is so bad and in pre-season we always end up losing players. So there was legitimate concern there, and using that as a reason was legitimate as well. But obviously, you're not going to get your cadences right and everything, especially for the offense. I don't think defense is so bad, but offense, you absolutely need to be playing your starters, especially the offensive line. We didn't.
I
And
agree.
when we played the 49ers in game 1, boy, was it evident that they hadn't played together in a meaningful game.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
hopefully we will see the starters playing.
Me too, because you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. It's so much easier just for our guys to be on the same page. A couple of games, you're not going to be played that many snaps. You're just going to play maybe a series or two, and then that's it.
hmm So let's get into regular season. Week
Yes,
1.
sir.
Do you know what? We talked off air before we came on, and we only talked about this first game. And basically,
Uh-huh.
and I think we're in agreement in this. If you're going to play good teams, you want to play them right at the beginning because you've probably got the film from last year from the starters that have been there. But Pittsburgh do not have a legit starting quarterback at the moment. The rumours are, as you pointed out, that Rodgers will be probably signing for Pittsburgh. I am hedging my bets and going the other way. I think he's done. I think he's cooked, and I don't think Pittsburgh will be going into the season with a viable QB1. And obviously the Steelers have got that incredible defense, so it could be a little bit of a weird game going into it. But as I say, and I said this about San Francisco last year, and look how that turned out. So what do I know? So we've got Pittsburgh, game 1 at home. The noticeable thing about this schedule, Daniel, a lot of 1 p.m. games, which is welcome, isn't it?
I guess so. I mean, I can't speak for you guys over there on the other side. I know the time difference is a killer. But I mean, I'm fine with the. I mean, I want to see them in multiple primetime games. That's how I feel. I don't mind seeing them in one or two Sunday night games, one or two Monday night games. Maybe one Thursday night game is much better than having two Thursday night games. That's just me. But you know what? Look, whatever it is, it is. And for the Jets, look, if they make the playoffs this year, if they do, we'll see what happens. Right now this is the first year of the Aaron Glenn, Darren Muji era, and I usually don't predict, you know, schedule, how many wins with a new head coach. I just want to watch every game and see where they go. That's all I want to do. I want to see where they go and how they do it. Because if I feel confident that they can do the job, then, next season, then I'll make a schedule prediction. But for now, I'm just going to just sit back, relax, and watch Aaron Glenn do what he will do as the head coach of the New York Jets. That's all I want to see. I'm not one of those negative Nellies or those negative Nancys, however you want to call it. I just want to see what Aaron Glenn can do. But then again, every other Jet fan has already crucified him and said, this is over. We're barely going to get more than 3 or 4 wins. It's all over and whatever. And I'm like, okay, look, whatever you want to do, fine by me. I am just going to sit back, watch the season, and I'm going to see where they go. And the truth is, between you and me, I am rooting for Aaron Glenn to be a positive, and I'm rooting for him to basically tell all the naysayers to jump off the ship because we don't need bandwagoners if the Jets do have a successful season and do make the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? Let's get this. Let's not mention the words playoffs as well. If we make the playoffs, hey, what a season that we've just had. But you should not be expecting, and forget this. Oh, it's 14 years since we've made the playoffs. Put that out of your mind. It doesn't matter. It's not a rebuilding. It's a retooling. We're getting new coaches in. We've got getting new players in. It's resetting. And that's what we're looking at. And if we're going to make predictions, I've looked at the schedule and I've gone, yeah, maybe, no, yeah, maybe, yeah, no, yeah, maybe. And, and I reckon the floor's probably about 5 to 6 wins. And I think the ceiling's probably about 8 to 9 wins, somewhere along the line. So sitting in the middle, I reckon, I would be happy with like 7 wins. And if we got 5 or 6, okay. And if we got more than 7, absolutely brilliant. But this is a rookie head coach, a rookie offensive coordinator. Okay, we've got a veteran in Steve Wilkes that's leading the defense, so that's good. There was a nice mix of young and old and experience. So I like that. Going into game 1 p.m., Pittsburgh Steelers. It could go either way, in my opinion. I'm not ruling that one out. So the following week 2, again, we're at home, again, against the Buffalo Bills. Tough game.
And it will be a tough game. But I will say this, though. Josh Allen has not been successful the last 3 out of the last 4 seasons over at MetLife because the Jets have found a way to stop him. So for now, I still believe, even though – and we almost beat them, actually, on Monday night last year, if not for a certain kicker that kept screwing up.
Who's now not with us.
Take the freaking lead.
And, of course, we've got Josh Allen's kryptonite in JJ. So JJ's back after his Achilles injury. He does look good in training. Yeah, I've seen the workout videos and all the rest of it. He does look exceptionally fit. So, obviously, it's different to actually hitting the football field, but let's hope he can influence the game like he has done against Josh Allen. So, week 3, this is our first away game at Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's right.
What do you think? 1 p.m. kickoff.
Ooh, I'm happy about that. And what do I think? I'll tell you what I think. I think, number 1, that's an easy road trip for me.
So you're going?
I'm planning on going, yes.
Good stuff. Well, we hopefully you get to tailgate and send us some pictures.
Absolutely.
So what do you think? I'm just going to backtrack a little bit. What do you think? Win or loss for the Steelers?
You know what? No one has any tape on anybody in week 1. I feel pretty good about week one. And if the Jets can hold off the Steelers, not only on offense, but on defense, I think it's a win. Pittsburgh usually doesn't do well on the road. So, like I said, right now, if the offense for the Steelers doesn't do enough, and don't forget, they traded George Pickens away to the Dallas Cowboys. So, that's a negative right there. So I think the Jets have an opportunity to go 1-0 here.
Yeah. I think they will as well. So we'll put that down as a win for both of us. Buffalo Bills at home, win or loss?
I'm edging more towards a loss, but I wouldn't. But I still think they can win it. But for now, I'll edge it towards a loss.
Yeah. So we'll go back to that Tampa game. What do you think? Tampa, win or loss?
Oh, that's a win. That's a win.
Okay.
I'll be there, so it's a win.
I'm going. I think it'd probably be a loss, but don't ask me why I think that. I haven't got a clue. I'm just sticking a pin in it. And then, of course,
Right.
you go nick across the Gulf of Mexico or whatever you want to call it, and back to Miami, and we're away to Miami Dolphins. This is one of your ones that you like. This is going to be a primetime game, Monday Night Football, 7:15 p.m. kickoff, which is going to be ridiculous o'clock for me over in the UK, so I probably won't be watching it live. But again, Miami Dolphins away. What do you think?
Miami is I'm sorry to say it to these Miami Dolphin fans, but I don't care. Their team has been basically reduced to being terrible. They've lost Fangio, obviously, their defensive coordinator from going into last year with Philadelphia. Their talent is dwindling. Tua, I don't care what anyone says. We don't know what Tua is. And, there's problems in there right now, especially with Tyreek Hill. I don't care what he says. I don't care what he talks about, saying, nope, it's all good. Whatever issues I had last year, they're all gone. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to play. Well, guess what, Tyreek? You're not. You're terrible. You're going to fall apart. The Dolphins are going to lose on Monday Night Football at home at the Hard Rock Stadium.
And we're probably going to have Zach Wilson as well.
Hey, that's fine. Our guys will take care of him nice and easy.
So we've both got a win for that one. So I think we will as well. Dallas Cowboys at home this year. We played them last year.
Now, here's the thing. Yes, we can say that this is going to be a loss because the Cowboys are always going to be the Cowboys. But there's a problem now. Their head coach is Brian Schottenheimer. Shotty, we know what type of offensive coordinator he is or was. He was terrible. And his ego got the best of him. We don't know what the Cowboys will be with Brian Schottenheimer as head coach. So until he proves something to us that he's actually changed his ways, until he proves to us that he is not the jinx and the schmuck that we all know he is, that is a win for the Jets.
I have him down as my first head coach to lose his job, unfortunately. I don't like making that prediction, but it is a prediction.
Hey, listen, it's the truth. You know, he's more of a bigger unknown than Aaron Glenn is.
I think we know what he is. But we'll move on. Week 6, Denver Broncos at home. We seem to play the Broncos every year. It's getting annoying. And we know what happens especially when we play at Mile High Stadium, we end up having injuries against the Broncos for some weird reason. Sean Payton coming to the Jets, MetLife. What do you think? It's going to be a tough game. He's going to be a Hall of Fame coach.
Wait, excuse me, Gus. Where are they going?
Oh, beg your pardon. It's Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, London. This is the London game. Beg your pardon.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a 10-pound fine. That's also going to be a 20 lashes.
It's not MetLife.
You will not get no sweet for you. I'll even cut you off at the puck.
That caught me by surprise. I'll have to admit, hold me hands up. That caught me by surprise there. So it's a 9:30 kickoff for you, but
That's
I
right.
think it's a 4 o'clock kickoff for us, or something like 3:30
No,
kickoff for us.
it's a 2:30 kickoff for you.
There, 2:30. There you go. There you go. And I will be full of tailgate before that as well, courtesy
Yes,
of
you
the
will.
UK and Ireland Jets fan group over here in the UK, who are going to have the best tailgate going, bar none. So if you're going to see this game in London, get in touch with them on Twitter. It's UK, New York and Ireland Jets. You can find them on Twitter and they will be there.
Yeah.
So we really, what we think, because this game could go either way because it's a London game.
That's correct. It could go either way. Well, let me say this, Gus. Something, of course, has come to me. I wouldn't say it's an epiphany, but I was actually watching other Jet podcasts, and I have to tell you that this is an interesting situation because here's what I'm going to tell you right now. Since this is a Week 6 game, the Broncos will be the road team, obviously, but where will they be Week 5? The Broncos are going to be home. I'm sorry, no, the Broncos will be in Philadelphia for Week 5, but then again, they got to fly back to Denver to get their, so everyone can get ready to go. So Denver in the United States, it's a 2-hour difference being in the mountain region in the time zone in the United States as I am in the eastern time zone of the United States. So that would mean for Denver that they would have to fly longer going to the UK than the Jets.
Or they go onward bound from the East Coast.
Yeah.
They don't go back at all. So they arrive in London before the Jets do.
Well, maybe so. We'll see what happens. But, if they do fly back to their, back to Denver, I don't know if they're going to take, a big suitcase. It might. But still, though, we'll see what happens.
It's an interesting thought.
That still advantage Jets, I think. But still, though, look, we'll have to wait and see what the Broncos are. As they say with the rookies, when you have that second-year jinx, something could go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. But right now, I'll go with the Jets win right now.
Yeah, I think we're due a win in London. We haven't had a win for some time, so I've got a sneaky suspicion. It's a home game. I think there's going to be a lot of Jets fans in this stadium. It will very, very much be a Jets home game, so I'm going to go Jets home win as well. Next up, we've got back in the good old US of A, Week 7, Carolina Panthers at home, 1 p.m. kickoff.
Yep, that should be a win. Carolina's a crap team. They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. They've been in dead last in the division in the NFC South for a very long time now, and that will continue on.
Yeah, I don't see any change there, which takes us to Week 8, at Cincinnati Bengals. This is going to be a difficult game.
It will be.
I don't see us doing this one.
I will give that a loss. I will definitely give that a loss. I don't see the Jets winning in Cincinnati unless something breaks right for them, but I will put it down as a loss too.
Yeah, I can't see us winning that one. We'll definitely win in Week 9 though, because
it's the bye week. You can always win in the bye week.
It's the bye, so that's cool.
Yeah.
So that's I don't mind that actually. It is marginally early, I think, but what I do like is the fact that if we're coming back from London, we are staying on the East Coast with the Panthers, and then we're away to the Bengals, so that's still East Coast-ish. So, and then we go into the bye. So, and then we are still Eastish because Week 10, we come back at home and play the Browns.
Yep.
Now, at Cleveland, for me, they're either going to be incredible or they're going to be really, really bad. Really bad.
Yep.
They've got problems at quarterback that they still, despite the draft, I think they've created more problems at quarterback than they've solved. So I don't know what Cleveland. I don't know what Cleveland's going to be. I really don't. Their defense should be absolutely lights out good, but it depends whether
Mhm.
they can play as a team.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'll be a win against Cleveland as well. So we'll see what happens there. Week 11 will be Thursday night football up in the New England region against the Patriots. Now, I would like to think probably the Patriots might get it right in the middle of the season. And look, I mean, they could still get it wrong. Once again, Vrabel, their new head coach, probably needs to see what he has before the season gets started or during the season, and so we'll have to wait and see. But once again, I'll give that a loss going to New England, right? For now, we'll
Yeah,
see what happens, but for now, I'll call it a loss.
yeah. I'm thinking loss as well. I think Rabel is a decent coach. He's not a rookie coach. He knows what he wants. He's stamping his character and his persona onto the Patriots, just like he did with Tennessee. Tennessee were fools to let him go. They meddled where they shouldn't have done with the GM coming in,
Exactly.
and they ruined their team, and they let a very good, promising young head coach walk out the door. Shame on them for doing
Exactly.
that. And hey,
Exactly.
New England have got a son back, so he will also be playing for the badge as well, as we say. So
Yep.
I think New England will be super fired up. Of course, he's going against another ex-Jet in Aaron Glenn as well. So I'm going to put that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll end up probably splitting the series, but at home for the New England Patriots, they're going to be too much, I think. But can't wait
Yep.
to see that one. That's going to be such a good
Yep.
game. Which
Yep.
takes us to week 12. And who we got? Week 12.
We are at Baltimore, and that will be a loss because Baltimore is really that good. Uh, we all know who the quarterback is for the Baltimore Ravens. We all know what he'll be able to do. The Ravens are pretty damn good at home, and so
Should
look,
have been the
we're going to be
MVP.
on. Yep, should have.
Still don't understand that,
Yep,
but that's a story for another day. But yeah,
that's a story for
Baltimore
another day.
Ravens, they are just so well coached. Every year
Yes,
they
they are.
draft well.
Yes, they
They are prepared every year. They're just one of these perennial teams that are just, I just wish the Jets could be like more like that. Philadelphia or
are.
the
I
Ravens,
know.
it's just
I know.
well
I
drilled.
know.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
putting that down for a loss. That's a 1 p.m.
Yep.
kickoff,
It's a
which
1 p.m. kickoff. Lamar Jackson will be at his best. That's for sure.
oh my God. If you're not a Lamar Jackson fan, get out of here. But people
Yep.
are saying that Justin Fields is like a mini Lamar Jackson. Woo! That's a little bit too juicy for my liking. He's not quite there
I
yet.
know.
But I
I know.
can
It's not
see where
quite
you're coming from, but he's not there yet. Hold your horses and all that. So
holding the horse.
week 13, where are we? At home, and we
We
have
at home. The
to
Falcon.
the Falcons.
The
Fantastic.
Falcon.
Well, of course, they
Atlanta
beat us
Falcons.
2 years ago. They beat us in London,
Yeah,
and this
but
year,
that. But
so it's the
it was.
return of Jeff Ulbrich.
Oh yes, good old brick. Well, not anymore. He's a good old brick. He's a broken old brick. But anyway, uh, that's a win, Jess. But without a doubt, that's a win. The
Hmm.
Falcon, regardless of the upgrade in the coaching department on defense, it's not going to be enough.
I think that Ulbrich, when he was with us, people were singing his praises, and I still stand by the fact that Jeff Ulbrich was in fact a de facto defensive assistant to Salah. That was Salah's
Uh-huh.
defense, absolutely. Okay, when Salah left, it was unfair that Ulbrich had to do two jobs, being the DC and the head coach. You just cannot do it. Well,
Exactly.
legends
Exactly.
struggle to do it in the game, but it was a lot to take on. But he struggled mightily, and the identity of our defense just fell off a cliff face.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the defensive coach that people think, well, say he is. I think our offense are going to have the Falcons for lunch. So yeah, I've got that down as a win as well.
Yeah. I have that as a win. And then week 14, they're home again to the Miami Dolphins at MetLife Stadium, and that, my friend, will be a win again. They will sweep the Dolphins in the regular season.
Oh my God, that is our first sweep for God knows how many years. Every year I
I
say
know.
we'll sweep the Dolphins, and they don't do it. So
We'll do it this year.
and again, it's going to be interesting to see what actual team that the Miami Dolphins actually have. Wasn't Jalen Ramsey? He's asked for a trade? He's still asked
He
for.
has.
He's still on the trade block, isn't he?
Yes, he
As we
is. Still on
speak.
the trade block.
So there's
Yep.
a good chance that he might be gone. So their secondary isn't all that anyway. So they're a bit of a mess.
Yep. It's all gone off the rails here in South Florida. They're all panicking all over the place.
So then we play Miami at MetLife and
Yep.
head towards you, and we are playing the Jaguars away.
Yep. I
Duval.
think Duval. That's a win. Jaguars are still. I mean, we'll see what Liam Cohen will do as the new head coach, but still, though, they're not good this year. They'll never be good until someone truly comes in and fixes that team. But for now, that is a win for the Jets.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. I know it isn't going to happen, but how about this? So Pittsburgh Steelers trade for Trevor Lawrence. Does that make the Pittsburgh Steelers a Super Bowl favorite?
It could, but I don't know.
Bearing in mind
I
who
believe,
they've just got at receiver as well.
yes, I know. Honestly, I do not know. Trevor Lawrence, for me, is still a question mark.
I think Trevor Lawrence is getting shackled by being in a bad team year after year after year. And I think put him in a good team with good coaching, and I think he's going to be one of the league's best. But
Exactly.
he's still there, and I think he's suffering as a result of it. So I
Yep.
like him as a quarterback. But as you say, Jacksonville, they're a perennial bad team.
Yes, they are.
Good grief. That time that they beat us at MetLife with Zach Wilson, and it's like they were literally trying to give us the game. We just couldn't take it. It's like that was one of the worst games I think I've ever seen in my life,
Yep.
let alone being a Jets game. So we finished that game. So we've both got a win at Jacksonville, and then we shoot across to the New Orleans Saints away.
Yeah.
Another 1
Away.
p.m. kickoff game.
Yes, sir.
Are the Saints? How are the Saints looking? Tell me how the Saints are looking. Has anything happened recently for the Saints?
At the moment, I don't think so because, Derek Carr retired. They have, I don't know how their quarterback situation is, but New Orleans, I think they're going to have a poor year. That will probably be a win for the Jets.
Well, there's a lot of wins being talked about here. I'm tallying them up.
Yep.
Yeah. So after that, we come out with the Big Easy and we head up to Maine. Well, Massachusetts, actually. Back to the Patriots.
No, not to Massachusetts. They're coming to MetLife.
Oh, beg your pardon. It is. It's MetLife. There's my second flooper. I need a drink.
It sounds like you've had too many.
It does, doesn't it? So New England, because we've done the Patriots away already. We're early season, didn't we? So it's a 1 p.m. game at MetLife. The return of Vrabel, who could have been easily the Jets head coach, but
as soon as the shenanigans happened in New England, I think we all knew where he was going. So
and it was shenanigans. We'll not get into that, but it was typical Patriots being Patriots. So so do you know what? In an actual fact, I'm glad that the Patriots did their shenanigans and we did end up with Aaron Glenn. As we talked about on the podcast, pretty much Vrabel, I think, was most people's like 1A and Aaron Glenn was like 1B. But I mean, you could have put that around. I think the only reason a lot of people had Aaron Glenn as 1B was simply because he was just a rookie head coach. But since he's come in, he has looked and sounded, and how he's getting this team prepared is exceptional. That is what we need to hear. Accountability, aggression.
That's what we needed. Exactly.
And commitment.
Exactly. That's what we needed. And let's not forget, week 18, they will be on the road in Western New York.
Oh, so are we getting to? Oh, sorry, we didn't do win-loss. Week 17. Are we winning that one?
We'll win at home. I think we'll win at home. Yes.
Cool. I'm caught on that one. I still think the Patriots. I think the Patriots are further along the line than we think they are. I'm actually going to go loss. I think the Patriots are going to sweep us.
That's fine. That's fine. That's okay.
I think they're further
And then
along.
once again, yep, they
So,
could be. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see.
so
But week 18, they'll finish up the season in Western New York State against the Buffalo Bills. And apparently this will be the last game of originally named Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, as they are building their brand new home just across from the parking lot. Just across the parking lot, they're building the brand new home of the Bills. So we'll see what happens there. But, many people are already saying the Bills should already have wrapped up the division again in the AFC East. So they believe, if they want to close off the old stadium with a win, that'll probably happen. But if not, then if the Jets get the win, then so be it. That'd be great. Right now, I'll put it down as a loss in Western New York, just because I think the Bills want to close off the old girl in style.
yeah, I'm putting this down to a loss as well. I have a funny feeling we might be getting a replay of what happened a few years back, where they'd actually made the playoffs and they fielded pretty much their backups, and we still couldn't win. But
I know.
we have a total here. So at the beginning of this podcast, we said that, I said, and you agreed that the ceiling was somewhere win-wise. The ceiling's somewhere in the region of the floor is around 6 wins, and we'd be happy, with 7 or 8 wins. That'd be absolutely great. And even if we slip to sort of like 5 or 6, but we're in games, we're being competitive. I think we could live with that. I don't think there's a cat and hell's chance that this team goes into games not being competitive. I think this team will fight and scrap. They might end up losing, but they will give it all. And I think as fans, that's all you can ask for. And if the coaching staff are doing the same, I think that's all you can ask for. But Henny, so we've just gone through. This is pre-season, folks. It's just a little bit of fun. It's nothing to rant and rave about. It's just a little bit of fun. So the predictions are, I said that we would win 10 games out of going through that schedule. Daniel, you put 12. So it's funny, isn't it, how we start off all rationally at the beginning of a podcast, predicting and going, yep, this is what will happen. And then we actually go through the schedule and go, well, I could see us winning that one, or I think we could win that one because this, that, and the other. And I've got 10 wins and you've got 12. Is that a surprise?
It's a little bit of a surprise. I was trying to be, sensitive here and trying to be, common sense here, because I thought I gave a couple of losses here and there. I thought I gave more than what I thought I did. What did I say? 12. I guess I'm making it a 12-6 season, or 12 or 12-5 season. No, that's not right. Wow, what did I do?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Cut me off. No more pints for me. I'm
yeah,
done.
Your time for bloopers. So this is how you went. You went win, loss, win, 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 loss, win, loss, loss, win, 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 loss. So you had quite a lot of dubs in there.
I'm terrible. Boy, I have higher expectations this season than I thought I did before the schedule came out.
That's why it's fun. This isn't serious. Folks, it's absolutely based on.
I'm so sorry, everybody. I just went off the rails. My bad. But you know what? Look, that's why they play the games. As the former host of NFL Sunday Morning Countdown, Chris Berman says that's why they play the games. So, we'll have to wait and see what they'll do. But right now, I'll tell you this much. In reality, I could see maybe 7 or 8 wins this year. Not the 12 that I somehow foolishly predicted at first. But, and I'll admit foolishly, look, I think that, for the Jets, that they should, at least make it look competitive. And I really believe that even though the start of the season looks daunting, I still feel they can make a couple of strong strong couple of victories here. Not everything here is a horror game. I mean,
Yeah.
we all know what the division games will be. We all know Baltimore will be hard. Even though, I know I picked Dallas to get a win against them, but then again, they can still pull something because they still have Dak Prescott there. But the problem is, I still don't believe in Brian Schottenheimer. So that's the only reason why I believe they're not going to do well. Other than that, look, we'll see what happens. But also, let me also do this with you, Gus. The last time we talked about the schedule was when that full leak came out, or supposed leak came out from a certain tweet account that was the Justin Fields fan club tweet, the big fan of Justin Fields. And, comparing the schedule that guy put down compared to the schedule that came out, he was correct 4.5 out of the 18. Not obviously you're counting the bye too, but it's where it's been placed has been the question mark. And here is where he got it right for the 4. He got it right outside of the London game because that's an automatic, but we still have to put it in there. He got correctly week 12 at Baltimore. He got correctly week 14 at home to Miami. And he also got correct week 18 at Buffalo. Now, here's where the hack comes in, and that's week 4. Week 4, the gentleman said at Cincinnati on Monday Night Football. Week 4 on the schedule that came out officially, week 4 on the road at Miami on Monday Night Football. So the opponent was wrong, but the designation for Monday Night Football was correct.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the 4.5 comes in.
Right. So it's not too bad. But do you know what?
Not too bad.
I look at this schedule and I look at it. It's a little bit of a tough start, but as we said before, if you want to play these tough teams, you want to play them early on because there's less tape. But I look at the rest of the schedule and I just think it looks a little bit soft, and I think this will suit us down to the ground. And I can see our team being able to develop and get that confidence with a few wins where maybe we shouldn't have got a few wins. So I'm reasonably confident that by the end of the season, we'll have had a good season and we'll be looking back at it and saying, yep, there's definitely progress being made here.
Yep.
Right, Daniel, we'll wrap this up, my friend, and we'll do this again.
Right.
We were due to have Lyle on the podcast today, but he had a few technical issues getting on, so we will try and get Lyle on at some time. It'd be absolutely brilliant to talk to him, but he was...
Y'all know what to say. On 3. 1, 2, 3.